Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, I'm going to be taking you through a quick 10-minute loaded hip mobility routine to help you open up those hips, make them nice and buttery. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, like I said, today we're gonna be doing a 10-minute loaded hip mobility routine to help you open up and smooth out those hips. What we're gonna be needing is a mat to work with, and then you're gonna use a light to medium set of either kettlebells or dumbbells here to help load up these movements. It's going to be something that we need a grip on, so either dumbbells or kettlebells will work perfectly fine for that. I'm going to be using my 25-pound kettlebells, and you can base it off of that, what seems light to medium in that range for you. We want just enough to load the positions where it's not excessively or overwhelmingly challenging you or pushing you too deep into these positions, but enough to add that external force so that you do recognize that it's there. So you can try and decide which weight will work best for you there, and we'll get into it. Ready? Let's go ahead and start this one. All right, we're gonna start in the 90-90 position, and we wanna have the weights loaded in the front rack for most of these we're gonna be working with. We're going to rotate over the internally rotated hip. So we're going to turn our body facing that internally rotated hip, the back leg, and just kind of take the space that your leg is willing to give you. Don't force anything. We're just going where it feels comfortable, and we're not necessarily pushing the range too far, testing what our body is willing to give us. Each time, come back to neutral and then rotate back over that leg. Each of these positions we're going to spend about 1 minute in, so take your time, move slowly, move controlled, and we'll go from there. Next, we're going to do a little cross-body reach from the 90-90. So you're going to set the weight down that is on the side of the leg that's to the back. And we're going to take that free arm and we're actually going to reach across the body, grab the knee, and help ourselves twist and rotate toward the front leg. So we want to use that load to help us in the rotation. Keep it riding the forearm, rotate the weight open so that the weight almost pulls you back into that rotation each time. This might feel pretty tight at first. Just kind of use your hand as a guide along that front leg, sliding it out, using it to help pull you for a second or two into the position, and then opening back up, releasing from there. As you feel you can add a little bit more, go ahead and add to that rotation as you go. All right, loading that second kettlebell back up, we're gonna keep our 90-90 and we're gonna go up into a shin box. So here I'm driving up, focusing on extending my hips, flexing the glutes, and then controlling a lowered motion back down to full sitting. Take your time, nice smooth movement, good control in this. If you need and 2 is too heavy, you can go ahead and lower down to 1 weight and just put it in the goblet position. Hold 1 weight out in front as you do these movements. So don't worry about the load necessarily. It's not meant to overwhelm you. If loading this is troublesome, you can go ahead and also hold on to something out front. So if you have a post you can do this in front of, that can also be helpful to help you scale it back if you need. From here, we're going to turn this into a loaded pigeon. So what I want to do is keep my same leg out front, my right leg out front, but I'm going to fully extend the back leg. Here I'm just turning to show you guys, if you got space behind you, you don't have to turn. Load that pigeon up once you're in it. And what we want to do is flex into the ground. So imagine elevating your hips. You see me doing that for about 5 to 10 seconds, flexing and elevating. And then each time I relax, I'm trying to take a little bit more space, allowing things to open up, reaching a little bit deeper with that back leg. When I reach that back leg, I do want to internally rotate as much as possible. Now you'll notice my spinal column is in what I call global extension. So my spine is in an extended position, but it's global from the hip all the way through the leg. You can see that nice arch, and we want to create that as we get deeper and deeper into this pigeon position. Next, we're going to take those weights, put them down at the side here, and we're actually going to deload this last position. I want to take a nice deep lunge stance, and I'm using the kettlebells here as handles to elevate myself for 5 to 10 seconds, picking myself up, driving the back foot flat into the floor, setting the knee back down, and then allowing everything to sink a little bit deeper in from that front leg and from the back here. So you might feel a lot at your glutes, you might get your hamstrings a little bit in here, and we're definitely going to be getting those hip flexors. So 5 to 10 seconds at a time, and we're going to finish off on this side and repeat all these exercises on the other side here. So we'll be coming back through to it. All right, gradually work your way back out of that one. We're coming into the 90-90, this time with your left leg out front, loading both sides up and starting with rotations once again toward that internally rotated hip. So gradually rotating, taking the space toward that internally rotated hip and slowly moving into it, taking what it'll give you. Good. Once again, set the weight down on the internally rotated side and reach across body for the knee, allowing the weight to help you rotate open as much as possible, keeping the loaded side so that it is in that front rack position and that you're carrying it right on the back of the forearm and the bicep. The goal again is to really allow that to help you open up. Now, if at any point in time these loads are getting a little bit tiring on those shoulders, feel free to set the weights down, take a second, and then regroup as you need to if things are starting to add up there. Like I said, it's a little bit of stretch, push, strength going on here. So there is a little bit of a challenge over time as we go through this session. All right, loading both sides back up here. We're gonna go back to our shin box movement. So we're driving up from the hips, extending the hips forward. And again, remember, if you need to deload this one altogether and just hold on to something, use a resistance band to help assist in it. These are ways that you can scale this movement back. But as you get more comfortable, as you build strength here, that is our ultimate goal, to be able to do it loaded and control the movement from that nice hip extended position to seated back down to the floor. All right, very good. Now transitioning into the pigeon once again. So get that left leg out front, fully extend that back leg, reaching for the small toes and internally rotating the hip. Load those bells back up, so we're in a loaded position here, and then add that contract and relax. So contract into it for a few seconds, actually lifting yourself. Imagine bringing yourself up almost in that shin box, and then reaching back a little bit further every time that we allow ourselves to settle down and take the space. Breathe and take your time. Remember, as you need, if the shoulders are wearing down, take a second. I needed to readjust here, so that's what you're seeing. Adjust and then come back into it. All right, then lastly, taking that left leg far out to the front so the knee is behind the ankle once again, using those kettlebells as handles, pushing down through those handles, actually lifting our weight with the back foot planted down into the floor, holding that for about 5 seconds, using the arms to assist, and then allowing ourselves to sink a little bit deeper each time we set the knee back down so that you'll feel yourself drop closer to the floor here. This should be starting to really feel a little bit challenging, but still pretty smooth at the hips, really letting things open up deeper and deeper into these positions. All right, and there you have it, a quick 10-minute hip mobility routine that you can do to warm yourself up for leg day, or just simply open up that range of motion with a little stretch plus strength. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend who's working on their hip mobility, or maybe just needs to work on their hip mobility. Share the love, give them a little nudge. If you are somebody who struggles with a current training ache or injury that's hindering your intensity level that you can actually work at, or getting in the way of your performance, what I want you to do right now is drop down below in the description here, fill out the coaching application, and schedule your mobility blueprint call. This is our opportunity to get on a Zoom call together so that I can first of all take you through a bit of an assessment and gather all the information that I would need to tailor a program specific to your needs. And then from there I can lay out for you the full details of what your program would be looking like, how it's going to be delivered, equipment, anything along those lines, and answer any questions that you have, including the cost of the programming and options around that at that point in time. So if that sounds good to you, drop down below right now, fill out that coaching application, and get that call scheduled. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it does not get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. See you next week.